Well, joy is like great pleasure, happiness, passion or emotion, excited by the acquisition or expectation of good. That's Webster's 1828 dictionary. So, think about what makes you happy or what gives you joy.
Right.
What can you think of any?
Oh, we got lots of things. I like playing golf. That brings me joy. Sitting out on a pontoon boat on the water. That brings me joy. Hanging out with people.
Yes.
Drinking coffee. All those kinds of things. Do bring a lot of joy. What gives you joy? It's Hunt for Wellness, episode number 203. Hello and welcome to Hunt for Wellness. This is the show where we help you live your best life, mind, body, and spirit. I am John Hunt.
And I'm Christy Hunt.
And this episode of Hunt for Wellness is brought to you by waterdistillers.com, where you get great water from great machines for your great health. Check it out over at waterdistillers.com. Joy is one of those words where you can... you could probably define it in a bunch of different ways, but what is deeper joy? How do we want to describe that?
Well, joy is like great pleasure, happiness, passion or emotion, excited by the acquisition or expectation of good. That's Webster's 1828 dictionary. So, think about what makes you happy or what gives you joy.
Right.
What can you think of any?
Oh, we got lots of things. I like playing golf. That brings me joy. Sitting out on a pontoon boat on the water. That brings me joy. Hanging out with people.
Yes.
Drinking coffee. All those kinds of things. Do bring a lot of joy.
And I think of the deeper joy like weddings and having our children and just being with our friends and laughing and having a wonderful time.
Yeah. Well, in the Bible, too, it says the joy of the Lord is our strength.
Yes.
So we can actually get our strength from joy.
Yes.
Think about that.
Absolutely. Because if you think about the opposite of when you're sad, very sad, low, do you feel like jumping up and doing stuff?
No,
you just kind of want to sit there and...
Yeah, it's not. And so if the joy of the Lord is your strength, the sadness from the world is your weakness.
Literally. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, so how do we get deeper joy? I mean, there's, again, joy is one of those things kind of hard to nail down. You can get the definition of it and all that stuff. So
deeper is under the surface.
Okay.
It's like, surface
more
joy.
Of,
yes. Going deeper, feeling it to your core.
Yeah.
And we can laugh and still be sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's actually times where you're crying and you're joyful. Like you said at a wedding, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, so what are some of the ways? Is there a vagus nerve for joy? Probably. Again.
Well, just like, we talked about what joy does for a person and it gives them strength.
Yes.
It's also good for your health.
Yeah.
The Bible says a joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Proverbs 17:22. And like Norman Cousins, if you're familiar with that, wrote Anatomy of an Illness, and how he had a terminal illness and he did not accept it. He worked with his doctor and together they worked on his health, and he laughed. He determined that he was going to overcome this, and he laughed and watched all these movies, and he overcame it.
Yeah,
he was healed.
Yeah. That is,
by joy.
Yeah.
Joy and taking charge of his health. And that's one thing that has been my passion for this for working with people in their health and with Young Living is you can take charge of your own health.
Yes.
You don't have to give it away to someone else.
Yeah.
And so by using healthy products and essential oils to support your health, you can skip a lot of sick.
Yeah, and if you think about that, the doctor comes in and says to you, I've got bad news for you. Well, I think joy is one of those things you don't want anyone to steal your joy.
No.
Away from you.
Kind of, you can make a choice about it.
Right.
And so, but what negates joy? Fear, worry, conflicts, stress, unmet expectations, hurry, prolonged grief, prolonged sadness, and focusing on the negative.
Right.
All those will take your joy away.
You know, I think it was our second podcast. We because I know that you love essential oils and emotions and how they relate to each other.
Yes.
So I think one of we'll link it in the show notes over at huntforwellness.com, but there are, emotions really and essential oils, there's a direct connection.
There is, because the essential oils can totally help you shift your emotions. And it's not just the oils. I mean, you have to agree to it. It's not like you can put on the oil of joy and suddenly, oops, I'm
joyful.
happy.
Right.
You know, you have to also make some effort, but it helps your body shift.
Yeah, definitely.
And you've experienced that.
Definitely, with the joy oil, in fact. Yeah. I mean, it's something where, and that's what's cool about all the oils, you get a response. Yes. And we like that.
But sometimes, and you've experienced this, so have I, you want to move into a different direction, but you just feel like you can't, and you try and you can't. And that's where oils help you do that, help that shift.
Right. Okay, so where do we go next from here? So we've talked a little bit about the definition, and we know that there are ways to use oils to interact with your emotions, right?
Yes.
How do we get more joy?
So get more joy really is on the inside and what you do. So in the beginning, God created everything perfectly good. Yeah. And then Adam and Eve sinned, took the bait that they were offered, and imperfection and corruption came into the world. But we were created for perfection, so we love it perfect, and we actually hate imperfect and broken things. Right. And so our ideal self condemns this imperfect stuff. But the ideal self judges the real and unacceptable and condemns it. And our natural tendency is just to try harder to meet the ideal, but the real answer is acceptance. Yeah. So accepting life as it comes in a loving and accepting way towards ourselves, towards others, towards our circumstances, then there's hope for transformation. And that is grace.
Well, and forgiveness plays in there as well.
Absolutely. That's part of grace, is giving forgiveness. And so the nature of the relationship between the real and ideal is grace, unconditional love and acceptance. And to demand perfection of ourselves or others will ruin us. Yeah. It really will. And in God's eyes, we are super valuable. We're created in God's image. And we are, but we're not God. We're humans. We're just created like Him, but we are not God. But He sees us as we are. He sees us as beautiful, wonderful creation, but He also sees that we are sinful and broken. He sees the real and ideal, and both need to be reconciled into a grace-filled relationship with God, with ourselves, and with others.
Right.
And so that's what we're talking about, reconciling the real and the ideal with God, with self, with others. And so nobody is perfect. No one. And so God knows that. And in His love, that's why He provided Jesus Christ to come to the world to take on our sin on the cross and pay the penalty for our sin so we could be reconciled with God. Right. Because we couldn't be reconciled as broken, sinful people, because sin has to be punished. Right. And so Jesus took the punishment for us. And He made a plan, carried it out for our healing. All we need to do is accept it. We need to receive Jesus, accept His sacrifice for our sins. And this is something both of us have done. Right. And it's changed our lives.
And joy is one of the results.
is.
You can start living a joyful life.
Because he took on our sin. He paid the penalty. So therefore, there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing.
It's really amazing.
Didn't know we were going to get a sermon here today, but that's good. I think people, this show is about mind, body, and spirit.
Right.
And they're all you can't live a full life without all three.
Exactly.
You need all three. And so the spiritual dimension is really important. It's really important to us.
Yes.
And I think it's really important to anyone who wants to live a well life.
Yes.
And it also, you even think about people who have a relationship with the Lord and are on their deathbed, often are joyful.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can they be joyful? They're about to die, but they know where they're going.
I know.
And they're excited about that.
That's what's incredible.
Yeah.
It's like, as a person who trusts in Jesus and we have a future with him in eternity with imperfection, that is where it's going to be perfect again.
Yeah. We get new bodies.
Yes. We will be renewed.
Great. Yes.
Totally. And that is something to look forward to. The best is yet to come.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
The process of deeper joy is really acknowledging one's own sin, confessing it to God, receiving the sacrifice, and purposing to live according to his plans. Just talk to God. He's a person. Jesus. Surrender your life to him. And when you ask him for forgiveness, he forgives you.
Right.
He does.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Ask and it will be given.
That's right. And then getting right with ourself is acknowledging our sin to ourselves, our mistakes, the things that we're not doing right or we've hurt other people, acknowledging that, the real, and saying to yourself, I'm sorry, myself, and forgiving yourself. That's super important. Sometimes we're the hardest on our own selves.
Right.
But we got to forgive ourselves. And then forgiving others. It's easy to have conflict with others. Right. This one conflict books that we had, Peacemakers, said, where 2 or 3 are gathered, there will be conflict.
But conflict resolution can lead to joy as well.
Absolutely. And so getting right with others is forgiving others and accepting others, even when they don't meet your expectations, even when they hurt your feelings. Right. Nobody's perfect. Let's remember that. Yeah.
So what are some of the Young Living products? Because we want to get to that piece of this as well. We're Young Living brand partners. Yes. Anything that you hear about on this episode or any of our episodes, we have linked over at the show notes. So you can just literally click on that. When you buy through our link, we get a little kickback, which is great. It helps us do this show and do our work for the Lord and all that. So head over to huntforwellness.com, episode number 203, and you'll see the links to some of these products. And you go right to the store; they get shipped right to your home.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. What are some of those great products?
Well, that Feelings collection is super great because it has Valor, which is balancing to the emotions. Yep. We use that every single day. Forgiveness. Yep. Forgiveness Essential Oil is really critically important. Yeah. Because I really think it's a great practice every day at the end of the day to put on forgiveness. You can put it on your wrist, put it behind your ears, and just say, I forgive myself. And then name the things you need to forgive yourself for. And I forgive anyone that hurt me today. Yep. And you name those people and literally forgive from your heart. And the oil does help you forgive. And ask God if there's anything that you need to, confess to him for forgiveness. And just really letting go. Release is another one of the oils.
Yes, release is a great one.
And that's great to put over your liver because that's where we hold anger and bitterness. Inner child helps us to be real. We have to be real.
Right.
To live a joyful life.
Yes.
And present time helps us also to be present. It's easy to get ahead or get behind in our focus and just to be present. And it's such a beautiful smelling oil. Actually, all these oils are beautiful. And then Harmony is the other one in that collection.
Yeah, we also talked about those oils in another podcast on feelings. So we'll put that link in the show notes as well.
And then there's joy, the oil of joy.
Can't go on a show about deeper joy without talking about the joy oil. It smells so good, too.
It does smell good.
My gosh.
And just put that on the sides of your neck and on your wrists. And change brings growth.
Yeah.
And so forgiving people and moving forward is, you grow from that.
Right.
We grow from our challenges. And there's an acceptance oil. You can put that right over your heart, because we do have to accept things that are happening. Even things we don't like.
Yeah.
We have to actually accept them and move forward through them.
Yes.
Sage is another really good one for happiness. And cinnamon bark is bliss. Really helps with the feeling of bliss. Palo Santo connects the head and the heart, and you can just put it right over the throat and the heart.
Nice.
And then lemon. I see the humor in the situation, and you can just put that on your neck or your wrists.
Lemon's another one. It's such a multi-purpose
so
oil.
Beautiful. And you can also use the lemon vitality in your water. We actually do that every day, or you can put a drop in your ningxia. It tastes so good.
Yeah.
It's boosting your immunity. It's uplifting your spirit, helping you to be laughing and joyful. It's really amazing.
Wow. So, okay, we're just about finished here. We've talked about the products. Again, you can go over to huntforwellness.com. Episode number 203. Check out the links for all those. Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
Forgiveness, love, and reconciling with Jesus will give you the deepest joy, lasting forever.
Yeah.
Literally forever in heaven. And but only those that choose Jesus will experience this lasting joy. Choose Jesus today.
Yeah, the everlasting.
That's right.
Joy, yes.
Yeah.
Well, this episode of Hunt for Wellness brought to you by waterdistillers.com. Great machines that provide great water for great wellness and probably great joy as well. Check them out over at waterdistillers.com. And we are so pumped up and happy and joyful right now that we can't wait to get back to our next episode of Hunt for Wellness.